What's poppin', Breezy babies? It's your girl Breezy and I'm back.
Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? Less than 1 million.
At again with the video for you guys today, and as you can tell by the title, up above, or somewhere on the screen, I'm gonna be doing a story time. This story time is gonna be about the time I sprained my ankle really bad during the summertime. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Hold up, whoa. If you guys at any point of this video want to slow down the video because I'm talking too fast, please do so, because I am going to be talking fast like I am doing right now because I have a lot to cover. And yeah, I don't want to make this video too long. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna be going from August to the first day I actually sprained my ankle to the day I got out of my boot. So that's like 3 months because it was August and I got my boot off in November. But yeah, and I'm also gonna tell you guys the advantages I had and the setbacks I had. So let's get into it. Okay, so August 30th was the day that I sprained my ankle. It was a Friday. If you guys don't know, even though you guys should know because of my previous video, I used to be a cheerleader and my cheer team used to have tumbling practice every Friday from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. So that was that. At tumbling practice, it was either this first or second week of me getting my front lumbar, and I showed the coach my front lumbar and he told me like, okay, we can start working on your front walkover. Front lumbar, front walkover, they have their differences, but yeah. So he does that, and we are doing what we were doing on the main mat. The main mat is a spring mat, so it's a little bit levitated from the floor. Once we're done doing what we're doing on the main mat, he brings us all over to the trampoline to work on each skill that we had to work on for the routine. So some girls were working on back walkovers, back handsprings, doing whatever like they had to do. I was one of those girls who was doing whatever I had to do, which was a front walkover. So he spots me while I'm doing my front walkover once, then I do it once by myself. I do it twice by myself. The second time I did it by myself, I did it, it was good, it was nice to his liking. The trampoline is a bit higher than your regular trampoline, so when you hopped off the trampoline, you had to be very cautious of how you jumped off, where you jumped off, and how you land, because you can injure yourself if you jump off the wrong way. However, I did not injure myself while doing this skill or jumping off the trampoline. I got off the trampoline, I landed on the crash mat where we're supposed to land, and between the main mat and where the trampoline was, which was on the floor mat, and the main mat is levitated, so there's this open space between the main mat and the floor mat, and my foot got caught in between the open space while trying to walk back onto the line, because I just wasn't paying attention. I fall down to the ground, and one of my teammates look at me and they're like, Brianna, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, I don't know what happened. And as I'm trying to get up, I can't get up because I can't put pressure on my ankle. And I'm like, never mind, I'm in serious pain. So the coach looks at me and he's like, what happened? Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I was just walking and I fell and now I can't put pressure on my ankle and my ankle hurts really bad. And the coach looks at me and he's like, you just got off the trampoline from doing a hard skill that many people can't do. You did it perfectly, and you come down to the ground to do the easiest thing in the world that you learn to do when you're 2, and you get injured doing that. It was a joke, and I was laughing at the joke, and him saying that joke and making me laugh actually distracted me from the pain that I was in. He let the head coach know, who was surrounded by other coaches and parents, like that I was injured and something was wrong with my ankle. They look at me and they're like, she's fine, she's laughing, she's faking it, she's not really injured. And I'm like, I'm not faking it, I'm actually injured, I'm in pain, I don't know what to do. Then he says it again, and he keeps repeating it to make me laugh. Mind you, this man is like OG God at tumbling, like OG God. Like, he's famous for tumbling. Like, not famous, but he's famous. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, he's well known for tumbling. So, like, he's experienced pain. He's witnessed things wrong with ankles before. So he knows, like, I'm probably not faking it, and making me laugh is going to distract me from the pain. So, thank you for doing that. But the other coaches thought I was faking it and just thought, like, I was being over dramatic with it, over exaggerating it, and just thought, like, I didn't want to be there that day. But I actually did want to be there that day. And I was sad that I sprained my ankle because I wanted to get my front walk over. But one of the team moms, she came over, she helped me with my ankle. She took my shoe off, she took my sock off. She went, grabbed my phone, talked to my mom for me, and everything like that. And I was just sitting back, and I was like, I'm in pain, tears slowly coming down my face because I can't let them all down at once because I didn't want to look like a baby in public. I'm not one of those people that, like, screams when I'm in pain and cries when I'm in pain when I'm in public, because I just don't like that kind of look. I'll wait till I get home or I'm in a car with my family to do that. Never in public. Sorry, never in public. But yeah, so she calls my mom. My mom comes. My mom sees me on the floor. She's like, oh snap, this is serious. So after she comes, she's like, all right, we're going to the ER. We're going to the ER right now. Once my mom comes in, the whole story switches with them. They're like, oh, it's serious. Like, nah, you was just saying I was faking it. Stop. But yeah, like, they started telling my mom, like, it's serious, I'm in pain. Because I told them, like, I'm serious, he's making me laugh, I'm not, like, faking it, anything like that. I don't understand why somebody would fake a serious injury like that, like, so bad like that, and carry it, like, even after somebody points it out that it's fake. I'm not that type of person. I am a hypochondriac, but you would know, like, I don't know. But my mom takes me to the ER. I get in the car, and I'm thinking it's just my mom and me and my aunt, but it's really, like, my whole family. No, it's me, my mom. My aunt is in her car, and my mom's fiance. And then it's my sister, my brother, and my nephew. I saw my nephew in the car, and I was like, I cannot cry. But I couldn't help it. Like, I didn't want any of the younger kids to see me crying, because I feel like I didn't want them to see me weak, because, you know, they always see me, like, strong and stuff, especially when I get hurt, and I want to, like, show them, like you gotta be strong when you get hurt, you know, like, no baby stuff over here, you know. So, like, I was like, I can't cry, but I was in pain, so I let it out. I was crying. So we went to the ER. We went to 2 ERs, but, like, within days apart. The first ER told me it was a slight sprain, put me in an ACE bandage and an orthopedic shoe, and put me on crutches, and was like, just rice it. If you guys don't know what rice is, it's rest, ice, compress, and elevate. Why did I lose that? But yeah, rest, ice, compress, and elevate when you get home and everything like that. Don't put pressure on it. The basics, what I knew. Follow up with your orthopedic and follow up with your orthopedic doctor, and follow up with your pediatrician. Did that. But the next day, we hang out with my family. We went to Olive Garden, and in the car was both my aunt and my sister, who are both nurses. And I was like, I'm in pain. Like, I couldn't help it. I just kept saying, like, I'm in pain, I'm in pain, I'm in pain. So they took a look at my ankle and everything, and they were like, Barb, this looks worse than what they're saying. You need to get it checked out again. She was like, okay, first we're just gonna watch it, like, overnight and everything, because my whole foot was swollen. My toes were swollen. It was crazy. I used to have a picture of it, but I got disgusted by it and I deleted it, so I don't have it anymore. Yeah, if I knew that I was gonna do a story time about it, I would have kept it. But anyway, so we're like, we're gonna watch it overnight, see what happens. If I'm still in pain the next morning, which was Sunday, then after church we'll go to a different ER. So wake up Sunday morning, I'm still in pain, more pain than I was before. So after church, I go to the second ER. The second ER tells me it's a slight sprain, but he switches me out of the orthopedic shoe to an air cast. I'm going to try to insert a picture here because I know I was wearing it for the first day of school. After I went to the second ER, we went to my pediatrician, I believe the next day or the day after, and we're like, this is what happened, this is what they're telling us, they told us to follow up with you, so that's what we're doing. She was like, okay, it is a sprain, leave her in an air cast, leave her in a bandage, leave her in crutches, follow up with the orthopedic. So we did that. It was the same day as the first day of school. The first day of school, I believe, was September 5th. If it wasn't September 5th, then it was definitely September 4th. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, okay, we have to take, I'm trying to find the picture of it. He's like, okay, we have to take x-rays of your ankle to actually find out, like, what's going on. So I'm like, okay, not a problem. So we go to the x-ray area room, and like while I'm there, it's a long wait just to take x-rays, and then it's an even longer wait just to see the doctor. So I was in pain, and when we went to go take the x-rays, he wanted me to like turn my ankle each and every way. I couldn't turn my ankle, so I was in more pain. And then I was just like, I'm in pain the whole time. I was like, I can't do it, like it hurts. He was like, all right, just take a deep breath, relax, it's gonna be okay. I was like, okay. So I did it, I got it over with and everything like that. And then I finally get called in to see the orthopedic doctor, and he's like, all right, this is what's wrong with your ankle. He showed me the x-rays. First doctor I ever know to show x-rays to you and like show you what's actually wrong with your bones or whatever and everything like that. He's like, this is what's wrong with your ankle. He circles the area, and he's like, all these ligaments right here are torn, and this is why you're in so much pain. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, huh? Like, what? And then he's like, all right, we're gonna take you out of this air cast and the bandage, and we're gonna put you in a boot. The boot was my worst fear. I was okay with anything that was gonna happen, surgery, whatever it was, I was okay with it. Being in a boot, worst nightmare ever. I knew like right away I did not want to be in a boot. It was very painful for me to get in the boot. First of all, a boot is at 90-degree angle, and my foot was literally hanging. Like they want your foot to be like this in the boot, but my ankle's like literally hanging like this. Like I couldn't move it or anything. So I'm putting my foot in the boot, and I'm squeezing my mom's hand, like squeezing her hand, and I'm like, you know, just trying not to scream, because once again, I'm not the type of person to scream when I'm in public, when I'm in pain. So we're there and everything, puts me in a boot. But of course, before he puts me in a boot, he examines my ankle and everything, see what I can do with it and what I can't. And then once he puts me in a boot, I'm all good, and then I schedule for my next appointment. So month of September, I had a doctor's appointment every 2 weeks. The last doctor appointment in September, I was actually scheduled for physical therapy, which I started in October. For my like setbacks in September, it was very hard for me to get to my classes on time, and I couldn't really do a lot of classroom activities. Like the first day of classes, my biology teacher, for her classroom like icebreaker or whatever, she had like a would you rather, and you would walk from one end to a classroom to another for which one you like more. I couldn't do that, so I was sitting in the middle of the classroom just raising my hand for which one I wanted. Yeah. And also, like, that was the first day of actual classes, and I was late. to biology. I was late to biology and history. Those are like the only classes I was late to, like, while I was injured. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. My health teacher, like, she even had like this classroom activity like middle of September, I believe, where we would have to walk around class and like write on a post-it for a subject and like write what went with it. But I couldn't participate in, like, I participated in it, but I couldn't participate in it. Like, I couldn't do what everybody else was doing. Everybody else was switching from one topic to another and rotating like that. I stayed at one post-it thingy. I hopped from one desk to another, and I just stayed there because I couldn't walk. I had two advantages, which was taking the elevator, and that wasn't really an advantage. I had no choice but to take the elevator. But like, my second advantage was leaving class 5 minutes early, and I didn't really like use that. I only used it once for history when I didn't really want to be there because I felt like it was pointless to be there, even though I had to be there because he was teaching a lesson. I didn't take advantage of leaving classes 5 minutes early because I was just like, I might actually need this for all of my other classes. I might actually need this. So I just waited for class to be over, and I just walked with my friends, you know, to the elevator. They waited for me by the elevator, and then we walked to our class. If we had the same class or if we were going in the same direction. But yeah, end of September, I think it was the end of September, like it was my last appointment in September where I got off of my crutches, and I only did that because I took it upon myself to practice walking without my crutches while I was home and everything like that. So at my next appointment, I could have shown my doctor, and I could have been like, look, I could walk without it and everything like that, and he could take me off, and he did. Period. I was so happy, but I really wanted my boot off too, but that didn't happen till November. So October came around, I started taking physical therapy. Physical therapy happened like early October. I remember it was early October. I don't know the specific date because breast cancer walk was October 19th, and I remember asking my physical therapist if he thought it was a good idea for me to ride my bike at the breast cancer walk so I wouldn't have to walk. But it is what it is. He said no, by the way, so I didn't, even though I really wanted to. But yeah, he looked at me like I was crazy, no cap. He was like, huh? I was like, just kidding. No, I'm not. But yeah, physical therapy was a bit of a challenge for me some days because some days my ankle was seriously in pain, and like I just had other stuff going on, and I also have like something wrong with my knee and stuff like that. So when riding a bike, it was kind of hard. So like October, I didn't have many setbacks, but like Halloween, I was in my boot, and I had high hopes of getting my boot off early October. I'll tell you right now, I think it was like my last appointment or my first appointment in October. Hold up, let me find it. But I had high hopes of getting my boot off when I got off my crutches, and that didn't happen. And my friend's birthday was early October, and she was having a party at Sky Zone. Was it Sky Zone or Urban Air? I believe it was Sky Zone. And I was like, I'm gonna go, you know, I'm gonna be out my boot, I'm gonna be able to jump, and it's gonna be so much fun because, you know, it's gonna be my first time out the boot, whatever. Joke's on me. I still ended up going. I wasn't letting that stop me from helping my friend celebrate her birthday. October 5th, I think. But her birthday's October 3rd. The day of her party was October 5th. And I had plans on getting my boot off before that. But like her party was at Sky Zone, and I couldn't jump, but I still went. But I was mad hype before like the party and everything, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna jump, you know, I'm getting my boot off, so you know it's gonna be a good time, I'm gonna be back to normal, this, that, and the third. Doctor's appointment comes around and I'm only off crutches, and I'm like, oh snap. So she was like, are you still gonna come? Like, you don't have to come, like, if you're not gonna jump. And I was like, I'm still going. Like, I still went. I wasn't gonna let my ankle stop me from helping my friend celebrate her birthday. You know, like, I just wasn't looking at it like that. So I still went, and I actually did enjoy myself, even though I couldn't jump. So yeah, that was like 2 of the setbacks that I had. After October passed or whatever, and I was still in my boot, November came around, and I was getting excited because my doctor's appointment was early November. It was November 8th, and that was the day I got my boot off. So I was extremely happy that I got my boot off. Once I was out of my boot, everything was good. It was okay, you know. I was out of my boot, so I was happy. I wasn't really worried about anything else. I was still walking with a little bit of a limp, but at the time, like, I stopped physical therapy, I think the 2nd week of November, and I'll tell you right now. I stopped physical therapy the 2nd week of November, which was the same week of me being out of my boot, and everything like that. Wait, no, actually the 3rd week of November. So yeah, that was good too, because physical therapy was cutting me from so much, like homework. I was up late doing homework. I was a praise dancer, so I was actually still praise dancing while in my boot, because the coach, she didn't really have a lot of movements with my legs because she knew my situation and everything like that. So that was good. And sometimes I would have to wait till after physical therapy, which was like 6 o'clock, just to go to praise dance practice. So yeah, November was slight. The only setback I had, I didn't do fitness like the whole marking period because I wasn't cleared for gym until February. So it was a bit of a process. But here I am, back to normal. You know, I still have pain here and there, but it's nothing that crazy, especially when that weather is acting up. So, you know, that is it. That is how I sprained my ankle really bad, and how people thought I was faking it, but I wasn't. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more videos. Peace. Stay blessed. Don't stress. Baby period.